Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and I totally just about forgot the entire intro to my channel. I've only said it like 300 times, not to mention the videos that didn't go up or the oopsies that I started and never went up. So if you did not say show and tell number 161, it is now 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. And I've had about 3.5 hours of sleep, but I have a very busy day today. So I'm trying to use my time wisely while I'm awake to film videos because I still need to upload Thursday's video today after I film all this. I have some appointments today that I need to go to, and I have some just like normal, regular work, like go to the grocery store and buy food. Who would have thought that was something you actually needed to do on a regular basis? And maybe eat today. Eating might be a good thing. So anyway, if I'm a little goofy, a little weird, a little off, that might be why. I fell asleep around 11:30 and I was awake at 2:30. A little short on sleep. I am on my second cup of coffee. And we will hope that I can make it. I just need to make it to 1 p.m. successfully. After that, I'm on my own time. So, quarterly review. I hope that's what I said this video was about. Maybe I didn't even say what this video is about. Quarterly review. That's what we're going to do. So, as you guys know, or many of you guys know, I set goals at the beginning of each year and check in every quarter to see where we are on those goals. These goals are not must do, Carrie must finish. These are, I would like to remember, I would like to do's. These are not meant to be stressful or to add stress. I know that seems to confuse a lot of people when I say, like, I'm disappointed I haven't done XYZ. It's not, I don't feel bad about it. It's just, I didn't do it, and I kind of wish I had gotten it done. But these goals do kind of help me to see where I am and what I need to do, because there are certain things that I need to do each year, like making my cards that I send out for holidays that I'm really behind on right now. I have a lot done on my Christmas cards. I have a lot done on my fall cards. My Halloween cards are suffering, and I got to get those out here in the next like 5 days. So I really need to finish those. So anyway, let's crack on. This is the journal that I made. I will try to remember to put in an iCard or in the description box down below the video where I introduce this year's goals and share with you guys my journal. I make these based on May Made It's journal tutorial, and I will try to remember to leave that linked in the description box down below. Let's crack on here. In the front, we have my goals listed out. So we do have a couple new ones that have been off. But let's just go down the list of goals and see where we are, what we have to talk about. And then I also have my tally sheet back here of supplies used and projects made, so we can kind of run down the list of what I've actually accomplished. Finish and Frog 2021's WIPs. Nope, no progress made on that. No change since Q2. Finish and Frog WIPs previous to 2020. Nope, still only have that one done. It is what it is. I got off on this whole like blanket thing using my worsted weight scraps, and that's become the focus of the random crafting time. So I'm really not going to feel like too over this. I wanted to have 75 pounds of finished objects. So right now I have 24.4 pounds of yarn finished objects and 13.2 pounds of non-knit crochet yarny FOs. That does include yarns that I've spun and or dyed. So my total FOs right now are 37.6 pounds. So I've almost got to more than double what I have done so far this year, which, while it sounds like a lot, once again, I have spent a huge part of this year making squares out of scrap yarn to make blankets. So I do have my first one finished. It was 2,700 grams, and I don't remember how many pounds that was off the top of my head, but it was enough to where I was going to have approximately 13 pounds of finished crocheted objects in the blankets alone. So that's not including where I'm finishing cards, which will be probably another 5 to 6 pounds of cards that I need to finish. They're like mostly done. Mostly done. Yeah, so I've got all these things that are like 60% done, 75% done, and I just need to push through in this last quarter and get those finished. So if I've spent the entire year feeling like, when I look at these numbers and look at how few finished objects I have like on my list of FOs, I keep feeling like I haven't done anything, but I feel like I've worked nonstop. Why aren't things done? And then I remember like there have been things precluding me from finishing objects, and now we're to the finishing zone and it feels amazing. Like I said, I have one blanket done. I shared that in Show and Tell 160. I'm almost done putting together blanket number 2, which I shared in Show and Tell episode 161. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Carrie will be done. I will make my goal. Use or work into 25 hank / 2,500 grams of fingering weight yarn. So far, I'm still sitting at 10. So not horrible, but once again, I did get off on this side thing, and it's taking a lot of my focus and attention and what would be mindless projects. Work down bulky yarn. Haven't touched it. We're still at a big fat goose egg on bulky weight yarn. Work down Red Heart and Impeccable yarns. Work into at least 25 skeins. So I did not do a separate count on that yet, but that is something we finished earlier. After quarter 2, I was at, well, I'm marking 26, but I know I have more. So it says at least 25 skeins, and I had already marked it off, but use 25 cakes from the cake wall. I did that already. Finish 10 blankets. So right now I have 4 finished blankets, 1 almost done, and then I have enough for like another 6 sitting upstairs. Donate 25 hats. None. I've made 3 hats, but I have not donated any hats yet this year. Donate 25 washcloths or mug rugs. I've made 3, but I haven't donated any. I do have a couple in there to donate. Donate 5 shawls. So I met with my friend that took over the prayer shawl ministry at my old church, and I dropped off a whole bunch of blankets and shawls with her. So that I did get the 5 shawls donated. I think I actually donated like 15 maybe. No, it wasn't 15. Oh, 14. I was close. Knit or crochet 1 sweater. So I crocheted a sweater and then had to frog it. So I don't know if I'm going to have time this year to make a whole nother sweater or not. We'll see. Make 400 cards. So I have, I think, about 115 Halloween cards that hopefully I'll have finished in the next week. I have about another 150 Christmas cards that need to have the inserts done. They're already embellished and ready to go. And I have maybe 75 fall / Thanksgiving cards ready to go. So I think by the time I'm done with those 3 seasons worth of cards, we will be there. Plus I have a couple of things that I need to just get ready into my stash. So hopefully we'll hit our 400 cards. If not, we'll at least be at 350. I did start my Christmas cards in July. I did Vlogmas in July, and we got my cards started. I shared a lot of the process of how I set things up and how I look at working on cards. Finished 25 rolls of washi tape. We have now done that. I am now at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 28 finished rolls of washi tape out of my stash. I'm very excited about that. Finish 5 6x6 pads. I have used up 2 complete 6x6 pads. Finish 1 paper pack. I have not finished 2 12x12 paper packs. I did finish 1. And finish 3 sticker packs. I have now completed 17 sticker packs. So, lots of progress. We're getting things marked off. Now we're finally hitting the zone where things are being marked off the list. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now, there are a lot of things that probably won't get done, like working on 2021, and pre-2020 FOs. I probably will not get much done there. As far as knit and crochet finished objects, I do have 29 completed objects so far this year. Non-yarny or non-knit or crochet FOs, we do have 9 of those. I made a whole bunch of dryer balls. I made a prayer shawl journal. I restuffed 4 pillows, and that was like 2,800 grams of stuffing. And I ended up using like 3 bags of stuffing that were like half finished all over the house. Like I feel like I purged stuff by finishing that. And I still have like another 6 pillows left to restuff. So I'm feeling really good about the progress I made on that. I finished my pink and white 3-ply yarn, and I finished off the blue acrylic that I had started last year. So I've done some spinning. I do have some spinning going on upstairs too. So anyway, that's where we are in that. Finished items tally. I have completed 15 shawls this year, 3 hats, 4 scarves, 4 blankets, and 3 dishcloths / mug rugs. I have not done a sweater, and I have not finished any cards yet. Like I said, I'm at least 25 skeins of Red Heart and Impeccable in, no bulky yarn. I've used 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27 cake yarns. I donated 14 shawls, 4 blankets, and then we already did the paper pads and washi tape. So lots of progress has been made. I still have lots of room to fill in my journal this year, though. I do hate when, like, I feel like I'm not using up the space in my journal because I didn't do anything. I do have my ball bands. Not all of my ball bands have been saved throughout the course of the year, but what I did end up sticking in my pocket here. This is Q3 2022. I have 31 acrylics, 0 bulkies, 39 total. So my year to date with ball bands is I have 146 ball bands here of what I have finished. And that's just what I've saved. Some yarns, you know, obviously did not, as I've been focusing on scraps, did not have ball bands. Some of the yarns I've used this year, like the ball bands, needed to be held separately for some reason, or I wanted to save them in another way. So, this is my Q3 refuse from paper crafting. I generally keep this over here on my table. So we do have, just from Q3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 13 washi tape rolls. Wow. We have the 2 6x6 paper pads that I completed. This is the 17 sticker packs. I mean, we have everything from epoxy dots. Some of these are kind of more like die cuts, but they're die cut stickers. I did use a bunch of Halloween stuff. Very excited about that. I did finally finish off the Christmas Farmhouse 12x12 paper pad. I finished off a card of Christmas ribbon. 2 packages of foam dots. And I'm about to finish another one I'm very excited about. Ooh, I missed one. So we have 18 finished stickered sheets. And then I have used 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rolls of ATG, and I'm almost done with the 13th. So, I mean, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I've gotten a lot done. They're just not finished. So, I mean, I'm going to hit all my major goals for the year. I'm not worried about that part. It is kind of funny though, because like I said, I feel like I've worked nonstop all year. Like, I feel like I've done all this crafting. I should have all this to show for what I've done and the time invested in what I've done. But I feel like I have nothing to show for it yet. But I keep telling myself, like, I have to remind myself, just like anybody else, I have to remind myself how much I've actually done, because I've got a giant 35-gallon tote full of squares. I have a giant basket full of squares. I have all of these bins full of mostly finished cards. This is just Halloween right here, Halloween. And this is like 5 pounds of cards. So I'm like right there. I'm right on the cusp of having so many of these goals done. And I knew when I started the scrap blanket project that this is how it was going to feel most of the year. It's just a very different feeling from what I'm used to when I'm looking around going like, what's going on? So yeah, like, I'm very pleased with where I am. I feel like I've gotten a lot done, even though on paper it doesn't look like I've done a lot, especially when I start looking into things like what I've used as far as like my finished supplies, or when I'm looking at this. I mean, 146 skeins that I can account for of yarn. That doesn't mean that I've only used 146. That's a lot of yarn, especially when you consider most balls of yarn start out at 100 grams. And I've got, you know, some larger super savers in here, which are, instead of 4 grams or 3.5 grams, they're 10-gram balls, like some of the jumbo balls. That's a lot of yarn. That's a lot of yarn to have gone through. That's a lot of yarn that may or may not even be accounted for in my finished objects. So when I look at my finished objects being 36 pounds in that category, I have to also remind myself there's a whole bunch of yarn that's not accounted for yet. So, I mean, it's weird. It's a mind shift kind of thing. And as this year has been such a different focus from most years, like, I have to continuously remind myself that this year is different. This year is a different focus for me. This year has been a very different process for me. And, you know, I keep thinking about these scrap blankets, but I have other blankets. I have my spring blanket. I have my Tunisian blanket that I want to get back to working on. I have a personal scrap blanket that I've got 2 actually that I would really like to get done. I have 2 long-term WIPs that have been UFO'd in the guest room for a while now that are also blanket projects. Like, I have a lot of large projects just kind of in various stages of doneness floating around the house. So anyway, that's where we are at the end of Q3. I am looking forward to seeing what these numbers end up being at the end of the year. November is going to be a bit of a lost month, I think. There's going to be a lot going on in November. So I've pretty much got this month to finish things up. And then by the 12th of November, things are going to be very different until December. And then we've got holiday stuff going on from that point forward. They opened the door in the most loud, squeaky way possible. And now the cats are in the next room over, clawing at the door. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I love you guys. If you've been following along and playing along but not sharing, please feel free to share in my Facebook group or down here in the comment section so we can all celebrate what our small and large goal meeting is. I love you guys, and I will see you all real soon. Bye, guys.